Blue skies means fun days. Helping skydivers with tips and techniques about safety, training and fun jumping from those who know.
Can you tell me who you are and a little bit about your background?
Yeah, my name is Jamie. I come from the US. I've been jumping since about 2011, and I moved to Australia about 6 years ago.
I'm Jenny Hopwood. I've been jumping for about 15 years now, and I've got around 1,800 jumps. So my name is Emily. I've been skydiving for 3 years, but hanging out on drop zone since I was 8 years old. So it's very cool to be in the sky now.
My name's Amanda. I've been a skydiver for a bit more than 10 years now. I got into it because I was watching YouTube like everybody else, and I saw some proximity-based videos and thought, that looks amazing, how do I get into that sport? And then a little bit of Google searching, and the very next weekend I was doing my AF, and 2 weekends after that I was making my first jump. I copped a bit of bad weather right at the start.
I'm Sky. I've been jumping for 2 years now, almost to the day. So I'm in a four-way team at the moment, and really enjoying doing some rail work and working on big ways, and flat's where it's at for me.
I'm Q. I've been jumping for about 3.5 years now. Started over in WA. I did a tandem and was offered a job and plane on the way up for my first jump, so I was jumping with the chief instructor.
Yeah, so I'm Chloe. I started skydiving just over a year ago and got addicted straight away, like most people. And I'm now in a four-way team doing nationals just a year after skydiving.
And what motivates you in the sport? What are you currently striving for?
Yeah, so I have probably my main focus at the moment is four-way. So I'm on a four-way team with a few other people from Elderslie, and we're going to nationals at the end of this month. So our goal is to try and get gold at nationals at the end of the month.
Well, I am currently getting my rigger rating, so I work it down with Trend now. And so dealing with all of the gear overall is always a thing for me.
I pretty much come out here whenever I can, and always it's something different that's motivating me. So previously it's been because I've been in teams. I really got into four-way for a while, and I've been on a couple of women's teams where we are very explicit with the goals that we set. We're aiming for a certain point average, and we're aiming to try and place at nationals. I sort of stopped that about a year and a bit ago and really just got into fun jumping, which has its own sort of motivations.
Jumping-wise, I am a little bit in between what I want to do, because I want to do a little bit of everything. So I'm trying to find my specific focus. I'm going to go and do some crew jumps. So we're going for the crew camp up at Far North Freefall. I'm going to do our crew crests. And I want to get into learning more about canopies and canopy work.
So I'd say my biggest achievement, the vertical world record, and so I'm a current vertical world record holder, and I'm also the women's world record holder, and I will be going to the world record in August this year, as well as the women's in November this year.
Each new discipline that you get into, initially your learning curve is so steep that you get totally frothed on it. So at the moment for me it's wingsuiting. I've been into that for 2 years. Acro has been my main part in the sport, but today we just had our first camp of performance, and I'd always thought that was a bit dorky before, like you're flying by yourself, you're flying in a straight line, how fun can it be? It's actually really, really fun. So there's always just new things to do.
Yeah, so I really love belly. It's where I'm at. I would like to make my way from blast up through the levels to AAA, maybe one day get in at Worlds. I've been skydiving since I was 18, so I think I've got lots of time to get there. And it'll be great to do that in just an all-female team.
Moved over to the East Coast to start jumping because they couldn't do students in Bustleton anymore. So we moved over and I started working for Gold Coast Skydive, and then I did my AF down in Maruya. And now I've been jumping for 3.5 years. I got about 350 jumps.
You get a lot out of the competition side of things?
It's fantastic. I think in skydiving it makes me better and stronger. Like, I have a focus, I have a reason to jump, and hanging out with your friends that you compete with is great as well. And then bringing that into my own life, you know, I think that I bring that strength and bravery with me when I leave the drop zone.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We're all really good skydivers and we work well together. Our fall rates are awesome together, so working well as a team, smashing the points.
I've also been asked to start doing classic accuracy, so I might do that a bit because Mike wants to do some work with that up at Toogoolawah.
Yeah, it's going really, really great. We just need to get the exits right, but once we get into it, we're really smashing out points, which is lots of fun.
What's it like when all the women get together for those big records? It must be something special.
It is pretty special. It's actually a rare thing that we share, and it's just really good to just take the time to spend, you know, quality time with other ladies in the sport.
I think women bring a different energy to every enterprise that they're a part of. At a lot of drop zones, we're quite in the minority, and sometimes you can kind of feel just the different sort of tone of the place. Sometimes it can be a little bit sort of competitive or cliquey or even a little bit aggressive at times, and women just kind of undercut that. I think we tend to be a bit more collaborative in our approach. The place smells better, and I just think they add a different kind of element sort of to it, and when you end up with mixed groups, it's so much fun.
Funny, I think men and women are kind of excel in different disciplines sometimes in skydiving. That's not always the case, but I think sometimes you'll find that women, particularly in free fall, tend to sometimes bring a little bit of that kind of calmness and maybe precision, whereas maybe, you know, men tend to have other disciplines that they, you know, excel in, and I think having that little mix between them really helps to bring a variety of personalities.
As long as you're a driven person, and I definitely feel that I'm very driven by certain goals, and I think the thing that I like about skydiving and the women in it is everyone's driven and we're all trying to head towards the same goal, and there's no egos, and you can always ask questions and always answer questions, and it's a really good environment.
So when I first started jumping myself, I noticed when it comes to canopy stuff, women aren't encouraged as much as men are overall, and like when we were doing our AF and things like that, a lot of people were just talking about how women are really good at free flying, but they're not that good at canopy stuff, and they're always scared of canopies, and that's one reason why I got into the packing and the rigging stuff for things as well myself, because I figured that the more I know about the gear, the more I know how it reacts and how it acts, and that's going to help me with my canopy piloting. And then I started just getting more and more interested in the actual gear parts as well.
I think it's really nice to have a mix of men and women. Like, I've been at drop zones before that were really male dominated, and it just hasn't felt quite the same. I think there's a nice kind of mix of personalities and I guess kind of goals and focuses, and when like things like that you get with having both men and women on the drop zone.
Is it fun to hang out with some other chicks at the drop zone?
Yeah, so we're pretty evenly split. We've got 2 guys and 3 girls. One of the guys is our camera and coach. So I think it's good. We all bring different skills to it and see things different ways. And I think the best thing is that we're friends and we're supportive of each other. So, you know, at the end of the day, whether we win or not, we get to go home with these close friends and these bonds we've made through the competition.
And then this week when we've been doing nationals, being a pond scum, I think that's helped me be even more interested in the canopy piloting, and also seeing that there's no women in it really. We had only one woman competing this year, and I have a few female friends that are interested in it, but they're not really going for it as such. And I think that's been something that I've, for a while now, started trying to get women to do, because I think, especially when they talk about women being scared of it, I think one way to avoid that is by teaching it more, and also teaching them about the gear. I've personally been doing packing courses and stuff, specifically for females in the sport when they're new, so that they learn more about the gear to begin with, so they know to not be scared of it. we've kind of been failing at helping women want to be under canopy, and it's kind of been a little bit of a boys' club. So I'm kind of wanting to change that.
Yeah, I guess we all kind of just fell in together and have formed a team, and I don't really notice too much about guys and girls in our personal team, but obviously when you look around the drop zone, it is definitely male orientated, but it's supportive no matter what.
For more tips and techniques, click subscribe.